Going to be about, and it's certainly coming your way.
Tonight, Don Lee, according to the record, is a step up from Salgado, because Salgado was a little over the hip. Tonight, we might see a very spectacular fight, because if a fighter can be hit, well, it's always dangerous.
Okay, here's Ray Conley with the respective records of both fighters and the introductions.
Wearing black trunks, successful in 196 of 202 amateur contests, 5 times Golden Gloves victor, chosen for the 1980 US Olympic trials. As a professional, has been successful in 29 of 34 contests, 24 inside the distance. Twice he has drawn. Extravagantly committed to creative, belligerent, dangerous Don Lee. His opponent occupying the blue corner, scaling 76.5 kilograms, wearing black trunks with white band and pipings, from Ryde, New South Wales, Australia. 32 times he KO'd amateur opponents in a span of 40 bouts. He became the silver medalist at the 1986 Commonwealth Games. As a professional, he has boxed on 9 occasions, being successful each time. 8 of those victories coming inside the distance. He is the current OPBF light heavyweight king, New South Wales cruiserweight champion. Marauding montage of pugilistic preponderance, Jeff Hordern.
There's the applause for Jeff Hordern as he's introduced, and Jeff Hordern 76.5 kilos in the old style one. That's
Close to 12 stone, a little over 12 stone, which means that Hordern really came down to the weight that Don Lee wanted. And that proves that the boy is still well within the light heavyweight limit.
Yes, certainly is. He's certainly come here to fight Don Lee. Looks well. We're looking at him now on camera, and very fit-looking customer, and his record of 29 fights for 24 wins by KO. Certainly a good one. 34 fights, 29 wins, and 24 of those 29 wins have been by KO. He's a switch hitter, Ron, and that's always difficult for a young up-and-coming fighter like Jeff Hordern.
Exactly.
I like Hordern, though. I think he's improved, as Jeff Fenech did, with every professional fight under Johnny Lewis. I've got all the time in the world for Johnny Lewis as a mentor of young boxers in Australia. I think he's an absolute marvel. He's just collected another Australian title with Peter Matrevsky. Here we go for round 1. Should be a beauty, this one.
Hordern moving around the ring to the left, the classic tactic to use against the southpaw.
Yes, he's starting out as a southpaw is Don Lee, but
moving away from his left.
He can switch to orthodox at any time. He's certainly got a height and reach advantage over Hordern, which is something that Hordern doesn't confront all that often.
No. But it's obvious what Harding's up to. It's the classic way to fight a southpaw. Move to the left whenever possible. Move to the left and just pin with the right hands.
Yes, and Jeff Fenech also looking at Hordern. It's another stablemate of Jeff Fenech, and he's already calling out encouragement. Jeff Hordern, this is his biggest bout in his short career, and certainly the big man from Milwaukee in the United States. Couple of good strong punches there, and he's clocking that left.
This is going to turn into a slugfest, because that is a good series of punches from Don Lee. He's certainly not finding Jeff Harding in his opening round a hard target.
No, certainly not. He's scoring at will. Of course, a lot of pressure on Harding, and there's always the uncertainty of who you're fighting when they come out of the United States. Yeah, there's so many prolific boxers there. They abound, and he doesn't know what he's
Great
up
left hook. See that little left hook he slipped in over the right lead then?
Yes, this is a good one. Now Jeff Harding doing a stalking.
Fennick in the corner for Harding, telling him cut the corners, keep him moving, cut them in all the time. Good left hook again from Harding. That was a telling punch of that exchange.
Yeah, that right jab is very effective by Don Lee. He's just pumping it out. There's not a lot of power in that right that he's using as a jab there to keep Jeff Harding at bay. And a good left by Harding there. Harding working him out a little bit better now towards the latter stages of round one of this 10 3-minute contest. The international bout out of the Hordern Pavillion, brought to you on the Sky by Bill Morty's Classic Promotions.
See the head jolt back then when the left came through from Lee.
Just poking that right out. No power in that from dangerous.
Oh, nice short right, just a fraction before the bell. A beaut short right by Harding, and I think that in that opening round, although Lee did look good, Peter, he knows who's the boss.
He certainly did. Harding working him out. Let's take a break and be back with more out of the Hordern Pavillion. Don Lee versus Jeff Harding.
They said you'd never make it. You're just a American kid. When you gotta get a proper job and settle down instead. They said you'd never make it. Took on all the rest. One chance doesn't understand a beating the world rest. They said you'd never make it, but you proved their words untrue. Now when that checkered flag comes down, this one's made for you. Made for you. Made for you. You made it through. This one's made for you.
Let's pick it up now, 1 second before the bell. Now the bell rings just about now. See, there's the right hand. Right, there we go. Now we're coming back live for round two. Your commentator, Peter Peters, here at the Hordern Pavillion in Sydney.
Pretty even first round. I thought that early on Don Lee and then Harding finishing the stronger. Not much in it, maybe just 10-9 to Jeff Harding. All right, that ineffective right from Lee, it's not going to worry Jeff Harding as this fight wears on. There's no doubt about it. The left is the punch which Don Lee is most proficient at. Harding going after Lee now. The hitman, the executioner in the hood before the fight, and he goes after his illustrious American opponent, Don Dangerous Lee.
A little stagger from Lee then, a little stagger. The combination from Harding is a ripper. Oops. Good left by Lee.
Yes, he certainly, the left is his best punch.
Oh, yes.
His right is fairy flossed at. So far, there it is, just poking it out. Harding will walk through those.
It's dangerous, Lee's right, because it's like a lazy left-hand bleed in orthodox fighter. It's too slow and too lazy.
It certainly is.
Whoa.
Oh. That's a good one. Right on the
And he's in trouble.
Harding is in trouble. He got him right on the nose, Harding.
Yes. There's four big lefts. There's another one. Harding's starting to wobble a little.
Yeah,
He's just taking him right out.
Round 2, Jeff Harding, the hitman, in trouble as he has the blood flowing from the nose. He's got to get on his bike and stay away from dangerous Don Lee. That left from Lee. 3 or 4 connected. Now Harding coming back strongly. The kid's got plenty of courage. He got a bit wobbly there, Ron Casey. There's that left again, a good punch from Don Lee, but Harding taking plenty, but we know that he can take punches. Can Don Lee take a succession of punches, as he's going to have to if this fight goes any sort of distance? Harding's recovered from that onslaught, but another left from Don Lee, and now the right sneaks through. Not a power punch, but again Harding hit there, and the left of Don Lee doing the damage.
He's got to get that right glove up, Peter. He's going to run into more trouble if he doesn't get that right glove up, and he's just too eager, too early to make it into just a slugfest. It's too early. He should be just setting this fellow up.
Yes, and Lee just poking out that right.
Is that glazed over Lee's right eye?
It might be just a bit of blood from Harding's nose. Harding in close now, working on Don Lee.
Yes, that is a cut over Lee's right eye.
Underneath says the corner of Jeff Fennick. So a bit of blood from both fighters, and Lee there attacks Harding again, and there's the end of round 2. Harding quickly to his corner, and he showed at the end of the round that he was looking okay, but a good round by Don Lee, and there is a cut under the...
It's under the eyebrow, so it's not in a good position on the right side. They're just doing some work on it now. I'm not critical of Jeff Harding. I'm too much of a fan of his, but really, he can't go on letting medium-class fighters like this catch him and nail him the way that he's been caught in this, and the way that even old Salgado did in his last fight. Johnny Lewis is giving him a real dressing down in the corner.
Here he is. Let's have a look at the replay of the early part of that round. There's the right and the left from Don Lee, and there's the one that staggered Harding. He's gone back, and he followed him through with a couple of bombs. Missed with that one and missed with the right, but hit him with the left.
That was the most that Harding has been staggered since he turned professional. That is the most, or the closest he's been to going down, shaking at the knee and going down.
Okay, and there's Lee slow. They've tried to patch that up right up to Lee, and he hops on his bike and jabs out with the right. Harding's after him, under instructions, goes for the body now. The hitman Jeff Harding, who took plenty in round 2, but has come out fresh as a daisy for round 3. Lee shortens him up a little bit with that dangerous left. He's turning his back now on Harding as Harding pursues him in centre ring here at the Hordern Pavillion.
I still say it, Peter, dangerous tactics by Harding.
Do you think he's taken the best that maybe he can throw Don Lee? Certainly Harding looking at walking through the punches. There's Lee, who's a bit staggery. And let's see if Lee can cop the punches from Jeff Harding. Lee now goes underneath, and the left from Lee. Misses with the left over the top. Harding underneath, good punch from Jeff Harding.
They said that you didn't have to go looking for Lee, and they were dead right.
Yeah, certainly, he's right there above us now in our commentary position. Jeff Harding in the black shorts with the white stripe up against Don Lee, the American. They stand in centre ring. Good left from Lee, good left from Harding. And that right eye of Don Lee, the cut under the eye as Harding goes underneath now in round 3.
Hope that eye is bad enough that they'll be having a look at it at the end of this round, Peter.
They didn't at the end of round 2, Case, but you're right. They will. Blood crying out of it, and Lee realising that, coming after Harding now. Oh, good shot left from Jeff Harding. He went a bit wobbly there in the legs, Don Lee. He's hanging on. That was a great punch from Jeff Harding. The left, he misses with one and oh, he's open there for Jeff Harding. So he's Harding open there for Lee.
What a ball. What a great fight.
No respect for Don Lee here. Jeff Harding just copping 2 to give 1, and that's not a good sign.
I don't like it.
case, it's a tough way to fight the top two and the top one. I mean, you've got to give him 100 out of 100 for courage. But right this moment, I wonder if he's fighting the fight that his mentor, Johnny Lewis, wants him to.
Well, he came out and took the fight to Lee at the beginning of the third round, so I take it that was...
Maybe they think they can do some damage on that eye. Maybe they know more about Don Lee than we do. Lee, though, cocking that left, that's his best punch, as we've said from the outset of the fight. His right is barely worrying Harding.
It's a good left.
Yeah, it's a good left, all right. It's got another left through there by Don Lee as he fired another round left from Lee. So he's doing well in this round. Harding receiving some punishment in the Pennant corner. Very easy to get in there up, and that's a good round there for Don Lee again in round 3.
I've given Don Lee the last 2 rounds. He's leading 2 rounds to 1, but they're having a look at the cut. The referee has gone over to have a look at it, but he's not unduly worried. He's just going across to get the scores for the round, but it's not a good position for a cut, but it's not bad enough to stop the fight by any means just yet. They're working on it. They'll be worried about it. Let's have a look now as we pick up some of the action in the third round.
There's the left through the guard, and the right coming through, and the left again. So Harding being hit at will. A couple of misses there from Don Lee, but certainly very much open there.
Critical of Jeff. He just cannot take the luxury of allowing people to hit him at will. Now this fighter is 20th in the world. What about the top 10? You get some good punches over there. My goodness. I think Jeff's got to look to his defence.
Yeah, he certainly has. Don Lee looking at Lee now. Again, more Vaseline on that eye as Harding comes after him for the start of round 4. He's a difficult customer for Jeff Harding to nail. The right coming at you instead of the left. But when the left does come, it's a good punch. It's there cocked at the ready. Harding going underneath as Lee goes low and now up top. That's a good punch from Jeff Harding.
Oh, yes. They're the ones that will snap him.
Yeah, to the body and now upstairs on Lee. A slapping left hand with the back of the glove there from Don Lee.
It's a sign of the time, Speed. That slapping left, it means that Lee has been hurt. He's getting tired. And now that Harding switched his attack to the body, we can see Harding probably coming on from this point.
Yeah, he looks better, Jeff Harding, in round 4. Less of the carefree of rounds 3 and 2, and more of a disciplined performance as Harding as he stalks the American. Oh, good right, that's standard, John Lee. He's a bit wobbly, Lee, at the moment. Round 4. Lee comes back at him again, though. Leans on Jeff Harding. That just stopped him in his tracks a bit, Ron Casey.
Yep.
He's not up on his toes anymore.
I'd like to see Harding work to the body for just another round or so.
He's getting tired, Don Lee. Lee running out of a bit of puff in round 4. Good right underneath now. Working to the body is Jeff Harding. Trying to cut off the wing passage for the American Don Lee. Lee comes back strongly with a good left underneath from Don Lee. Underneath again goes Lee.
Even the corners now see it yelling out to Harding to start working to the body. They're both headhunters tonight. Yeah, and the body is the answer, especially for Harding.
Oh, Jeff Fennick and Joe Button according to their stablemate to go underneath. So is Johnny Lewis in the corner. Don Lee, though, willing to mix it. And, well, Ring Magazine was right. You don't have to go searching. There's no search parties out to find
the tide has turned. It's Harding well on top now.
Right, and that's from Harding. That's staggered Don Lee. Harding stalking him now in round 4. Kept the hitman, put him away. Well done us there on the neutral corner. Jeff Harding seeking yet another win inside the distance.
Big left as Harding was coming in.
Getting towards the end of round 4, the bell of it will, the bell ends at 4 round 4, and Don Lee, dangerous Don Lee, not looking so dangerous at the moment is Cutaway again receiving the treatment.
Well, when we read about this in tomorrow's papers, they'll say the fourth round was the turning point of the fight. Lee started to get a bit sloppy there, and Harding, especially in the early part of the round, when he was working to the body, he came on strong, as they would say.
Let's have a look at that good punch from Jeff Harding, the left, which staggered Don Lee. Lee, though, was throwing plenty of leather. There was the punch from Harding that set Don Lee back into his own corner, and it was the hitman stalking Don Lee. Lee coming back strongly, though. He not as bouncy as he was earlier. There's the work on the cut now in his corner.
Yeah, they don't seem to. They're not happy about it, but they're not overly worried about it. And Lee got a little bit loose, a little bit ragged in that round.
Yeah, he's taking his front face, getting out of the corner. The hands are down.
The signs are there, Peter.
Yeah, he's not as fit as Harding. One thing you've got to say about anyone from Johnny Lawson's stable is they're superbly fit.
Yep.
And they love it to get out of condition, because that's where they come out on top. They're all fitness fanatics. Nobody in the gym is allowed to be any otherwise. Good left from Harding. Harding getting on top now in round 5. Harding and Lee. Certainly no rest out there for either fighter since the start of this fight. They've been at it hammer and tongs. It's been an exciting contest so far. Can they keep this up, Ron Casey?
No, I think you might find that they might have a spell in the round shortly.
The pace certainly a cracker, and this is going to suit Harding, I think, in the latter stages of the fight. But he's certainly receiving plenty of punishment in this fight. This is good work underneath by Harding. His defence a lot better now as he covers up and then moves underneath into Don Lee. Lee not scoring with a lot. Oh, there's a good body punch. A succession of body punches from Harding as he remains on the ropes, head bobbing and moving underneath. And Lee not getting through as much in this round as he was earlier.
I'll tell you what, there's no better crowd pleaser, perhaps with the exception of Fennick in Australian boxing, than Jeff Harding. He is giving 110%.
Yeah, he certainly is, and he's defending a lot better in this round, Casey. His head is moving, his defence is a bit better, and then he's moving underneath. I think they're the tactics now to go underneath. Now, there's a lot of punches being thrown by the American Lee, but now Harding waiting his time to go underneath.
Nice left, caught him on the chin.
Yeah, that was a better punch from Lee as Harding covers up now, and Lee getting through a bit now, which he wasn't doing earlier in the round. Good punch underneath by Harding. Works on the Sydney Council. Gets out in the outdoors and does a lot of hard work. Very fit young fellow. And he's going to have to be tonight against this very experienced American Don Lee. A knockout exponent. He's put 24 away out of 29 wins. Harding determined that he's not going to be victim number 30. It's a tough fight, Case.
Oh, yes. Too tough.
Yeah, here it is. It's a tough fight. 76.5 kilos. Just about 12 stone. There's the end of round 5. So there's the applause for a good round. Both fighters at it from the outset. Ron Casey, how do you see it so far?
Narrowly Harding, but it's one of those seesawing fights. But I'd say that Harding is, I'd give him 3 rounds to 2 as we wait for the 6th.
Well, we're not halfway through the fight yet, but the fans have already got their money's worth. There's the corner of dangerous Don Lee. There's Joe Bugner.
Yes, I reckon Joe would be saying to himself, this is a hard way for these boys to earn a dollar.
Movie star these days, Joe.
Yep. And there's the advice as we watch Joe Bugner. He's saying to Jeff Harding, keep the pressure on. Of course, Bugner used Jeff Harding as a sparring partner when he's preparing for all those heavyweight fights.
Yes,
it's hard to get big men.
Yes, certainly is.
There's Jeff Fennick.
There's Jeffrey Fennick.
And he's got a slightly worried look on his face, I'd say.
Yeah.
He's okay.
He's a great competitor, isn't he?
And a great supporter of his team.
6. Almost at the halfway mark of, well, over the halfway mark now of the fight. 10 3-minute rounds, so we're into the second session of the fight, and certainly anybody's contest at this stage. Who's going to weaken, Harding or directly the pace, a cracker from the outset?
I reckon Lee will be saying to himself, what have I got in front of me here? Because no matter what he does, Harding just takes it and comes back and dishes more out.
Yeah, he's given his best, hasn't he?
Oh, yeah, I think Lee's done his best. It's just a matter of when now.
But still, that left is still a very dangerous punch. If he walks into a succession of them, Harding, he could be in a spot above him. Don Lee certainly come to fight.
And both of them are still bashing away to each other's head. I'd say if Harding switched to the body, he could end this fight in 3 rounds.
Well, he tended to switch there in the last round, round 5, case, but
a little bit of the round before.
Yeah, and now, as you said, going back upstairs again. And all the advice from his corner is to go underneath. Go downstairs. Oh, he walked into 2.
Yeah.
The head went back of Jeff Harding, but he's quite willing to cop it. It's just his style. It's a dangerous style of fighting. You've got to come up against some hard hitters in his division. And as we're looking at number 2, he's getting very ragged.
We're near the end, I think, Peter. He's getting ragged.
And he certainly is. Harding sensing that, chasing him, casting fate to the wind. He's got to be careful. Lee, certainly very courageous, but he's going for the oxygen now, Don Lee. Oh, there's a left underneath, and plenty of claret came out. That was from the mouth area. And he's wobbling now, Don Lee. Dangerous Don Lee has the hit man after him. Not looking too dangerous at the moment. Harding walking through. There's a plenty of rough red out there at the moment, like a bottle of Tyrrell's red. From the Harding, he's getting now, Harding, the hit man, after victim number 11.
If I was refereeing, I'd be looking at stopping this fight shortly. I know that Lee's still got a lot, but really he's taken tremendous battering.
He has. Oh, there's a punishing blow to the ribs and then to the body. Oh, and there he staggers him again. The big fellow's about to fall, I fear. Don Lee, dangerous Don Lee.
But even in his swan song, he's still catching and hurting Harding.
Yeah, he certainly is, but Harding walking through the
Sure, that's true.
Not worrying him. There's the right underneath. There's the end of the round, and the bell saved Don Lee as he started.
That was one of those brutal rounds of boxing that I've seen for a long time.
Jeff Harding receiving the accolade. Dangerous Don Lee. Certainly not a lethal weapon at the moment as he look at the lip. The lip has got a big swelling on it. The cut is opening up.
And the American fighters have come out here, got a bit of a belly for a couple of rounds. That's the end of it, and everyone's quite happy. This fellow has given more than any fighter should have to give. Now have a look at this replay, and look at that. Back goes the head, and Lee just keeps on coming back for more. As a visitor, not in front of his own home crowd, he's been tremendous.
Well, the stories about him not being able to withstand pressure on it are certainly way off beam. That lip is the size of 3 lips at the moment.
Now look, see, there he is, ton of trouble, getting Bajingo kicked out of him, and he still came back with a big left and stopped Jeff in his tracks.
Yeah, I think right now he's saying, what am I doing here? And he's standing there in his corner, and now, has he got any petrol left to get on the bike? From what I've seen in the gym, I can't see him lasting this fight, Case. I think he had to put Harding away. He's had his opportunity, couldn't do it. I think right at this moment, he's almost a punching bag with arms on.
Well, there he goes. He scored a few there.
He did, Case, but he's not hurting anymore where he's being hurt.
That's the punch.
Good left by Harding. Underneath goes Don Lee again. Has he got one big one saved up? I don't think so.
See, that's the funny part of this fight. Like, Lee is getting pummeled. He's getting really hurt. Then he'll land 2 or 3 good punches himself, and you can't stop the fight because he's still in there.
Yeah, he certainly is. But the cuts and the swelling starting to come up on the face of Don Lee. They may not recognise him when he gets back to Milwaukee. So good right by Harding, short right, walking through the punches. As Ron Casey keeps saying, he's still scoring punches, Don Lee, but they're not effective as from about round 5. Two good lefts from Harding. I don't know whether he can take much more, Don Lee. Just maybe one or two good ones there. Plenty of claret coming out, Case, of the mouth now of Don Lee.
His mouth, his right eye. So there you go. He's come back with another flurry of punches that shows he's still in the fight.
Yes,
So how can you stop it when he does that?
what a great fight this is, and certainly action-packed from the start. Right around Australia, seeing it on Sky Channel as Jeff Harding attempts to put Don Lee away, when Harding must be just about punched out himself from the punishment he's dished out in rounds 5,
Well, that's
6,
it.
and this is 7. And he's still popping some case.
Oh, big right.
Nearing the end of round 7, past the halfway mark, Don Lee certainly copping plenty, but a courageous effort from the big American. Jeff Harding knows that he's just about got him ready to fall, but he can't deliver the punch to put him away. Lee spitting out blood as he tries to soak up the oxygen. And he's scoring punches now against this Jeff Harding. Yes, oh, that's gagging him. Lee about to go, is he? Is the bell going to go and save him? Almost the end of this round 7. Here comes the end of round 7 now. The timekeeper, Johnny Holloway, just about to ring the bell. There's Don Lee, not much left in those punches now from Lee.
This is a long round.
It certainly is a long round. It seems like a day and a half. It'll be awfully long for Don Lee. Harding almost sprints back to his corner at the end. There's Don Lee just flopping down in his corner. A bloodied mouth guard. A bit of H2O to maybe clean out the mouth.
This fellow's condition is simply superb. We'll be back after this break. You're watching Sky Fight Night.
It is just flowing freely in rounds 5, 6 and 7 out of the mouth of Don Lee. We're in round 8. Peter Peters and Ron Casey ringside at the Hordern Pavillion. The dangerous Don Lee versus the hitman Jeff Harding. And there's plenty of blood all over the ring from the mouth of Don Lee.
In the break there, just before the round started, the referee asked Lee if he wanted to go on.
And he said, yes, thank you. Well, I don't know if he said thank you, but he nodded. Sort of left. And the chant goes up to the hitman, Jeff Harding. Chases now, Don Lee. Lee staggers against the ropes. He's game. He is game. He's given the fans, both here and in their clubs and pubs around Australia through Sky Channel, a great night here at the Hordern Pavillion. A great bout this one, but Harding now, do you think he's almost going to stop it wrong?
I would have stopped it by now. I'm sorry, I just think this fella's taken too much.
Yeah.
But he can't. He's putting himself in an impossible situation. He just keeps coming back with that flurry that evens it up a little bit.
Don Lee, cut on the eye, cut on the nose, and cut in the mouth. And a good left by Harding there to almost connected it. There's one that staggers Don Lee. But Lee pushes Harding away and courageously. Both gloves covered in blood.
It's years since I've seen a fight in which there's been so much blood. Years.
Yeah. Oh, and so I don't think that was more of a push.
No, I'd like to have a look at that in the replay.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether he connected there, but Harding went back, and certainly Lee's come after him again. And you're right, Case. He can hardly stop it when he's coming like that, coming back strongly. The left, the punch that Don Lee's looking for, as he spits out some blood again.
Harding is covered from waist to head in Lee's blood.
Yeah, and a bit of his own coming out from early rounds of the fight out of his nose. This is round 8, and it's continued to be a two-man war here at the Hordern Pavillion. What a fight you're seeing here on Sky. Don Lee from Milwaukee, America, versus Jeff Harding from Ryde in Sydney.
I think we've seen enough. I've had my money's worth. I don't want any more.
No, but he's certainly in there competing. He's a very tired boxer, Don Lee. The referee looking very closely at this fight now in round 8. The power gone out of Lee, but blood flowing out of that mouth. Oh, this is almost brutal now. Taste of mouth is up swollen. It should be stopped, in my opinion. Oh, it's a bloody mess, the face of Don Lee.
Then it comes back again.
Yeah, he does, but oh, the face is a mess. It's the end of round 8. I'll be surprised if
The referee will go to the corner. He'll get the meat. Is he going to stop it? I think he should. It's a 10-round contest, but he's looking. No, he's taking the scorecards.
Don Lee talking now to his seconds there, starting.
He's had enough.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, yes. That's plenty. The doctor's having a look at Lee, and I think the referee's going to stop the fight. Lee's corner doesn't want him to go on. I think Lee would have gone on. It's all over. Jeff Harding, the winner, at the end of the 8th round.
Yeah, that's his 10th victory in 10 fights. That's 9 inside the distance. But what a mighty performance from Don Lee. And there's Jeff Harding holding his hand up, and tremendous performance. I'll hop in the ring to have a message with the winner, Jeff Harding. Here's Ron Casey.
Well, the crowd is giving an ovation to Don Lee, and I would say that he is the most creditable American performer to come to our shores. I've never seen a game of performance, and every time he's on the edge of defeat, he'd come back and punch them all, making it impossible to stop it before the 18th. As we said, the fight was brutal. Here's Ray Conley.
Along the right eyebrow and just beneath, sustained by Don Lee, the ringside position suggested the bout cease, and so the winner in the 8th round, maintaining his unblemished record, 10 contests, 10 wins, 9 inside the distance, Jeff Hitman Harding.
And here's Peter Peters in the ring to talk to Jeff Harding.
Conley as they attempt to get the gloves off. Jeff the Hitman Harding. What a two-man war we've seen here as the coins.